Hello everyone and welcome into today's video where we are checking Sia, which is still quite a smaller project about decentralized cloud storage, but lately it has been on a nice run, so the price is increasing quite a lot, so I thought you might be interested in this one. So I will be covering some fundamentals, and also in the second half we will check out the price charts, so stay tuned for that one. And just before we start, it would be great if you would smash the like button. That helps me out a lot, so thank you for doing so. And now let's get into the fundamentals. So Sia was established around 2014 2015, and as I mentioned, it's about a cloud storage platform. However, it is decentralized compared to Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, etc., which are centralized. By centralized I mean they are in control of those corporations, so Google, Microsoft, Dropbox, etc. They are centralized on servers, so it's a bit easier to hack and do some kind of attacks on the data storage. And also, if there is some error, there could be lots of data lost as well. However, this decentralized storage goes in with a little bit of a different angle than the traditional cloud storage providers, and we will find out why. So first of all, we have just some stats over here. So their total capacity is 3.4 petabytes. They have almost 500 storage providers, and the used storage is just 617 terabytes, so there is still plenty of room left, and it has been downloaded by 1.2 million users. One of their features is that they are completely private. This is ensured by the encryption of your data and also distribution across a decentralized network. And in this case, you control your private keys to your data, so a similar way to private keys of your cryptocurrency. So you really own your data. No outside company or third party can access or control your files. So that's a very important feature about security. But also they are far more affordable, because on average their costs are 90% less than a comparable cloud storage. For example, storing 1 terabyte of files on Sia costs you about $1 to $2 per month, which is really cheap, to be honest, because for example with Amazon it costs $23, the same amount. And also it is highly redundant, because with the use of the nodes of the distributed network across the globe, that eliminates any single point of failure. So if one fails, there are still all the others which have the blockchain history, so it's even more reliable than the traditional cloud storage providers. And also it's open source, so there is still development going on, with more developers building innovative applications on the Sia API. And here in the technology section we have a bit more information about the underlying technology. And apart from the encryption, they also divide your files prior to upload, so they will divide the files into 30 segments before uploading, which also assures that these 30 segments are distributed around the world and there is not a single point of failure, which is also good for the overall uptime of the network and redundancy. And they are using a technology for this called Reed-Solomon erasure coding, which is commonly used, has been used in CDs and DVDs. And with this coding applied, you can recover the whole file from just 10 of those 30 segments. So that's really cool. That pretty much means that if 20 out of those 30 hosts go offline, the Sia user is still able to download the files. And also, as we mentioned, there is this encryption of data. So unlike the traditional providers, Sia offers a encryption in default, and they use a 3-fish algorithm for that. So all the hosts only store encrypted data, so you don't have to worry someone could get into your data. And the cool part about blockchains is that they can use smart contract, which means means that there is no need for intermediaries or trusted third parties, because the contracts are automatically enforced by the network itself, and these smart contracts are called file contracts. And in these you set pricing, uptime commitments and other aspects between the renters of the storage and the hosts of the storage, and then it's all stored on the Sia blockchain. And for paying for this service, the renters and hosts use Siacoin, which is the token we will talk about in the second half as well. And this token is unique cryptocurrency built on the Sia blockchain. It uses the same proof of work consensus as does the Bitcoin, so there are miners mining this coin as well, and some micropayments flow between the renters and hosts, use payment channels, so similar to Bitcoin's Lightning Network, and the payments themselves occur off-chain, which greatly increases the network's efficiency and scalability. And also important point is that since the hosts pay a collateral into every storage contract, they have a strong disincentive to go offline. So also it is in the host's best interest to stay online, to be able to provide the data for the renters. Also, addition to the smart contracts, the smart contracts renew over time, so usually after 90 days. And if they are not renewed, Sia returns any unused coins. And also, for example, if individual hosts go offline, Sia then automatically moves the renter data to a new host, which is called file repair. And finally, the last feature, which is really important, is the so-called storage proofs, which means that at the end of a file contract, the host must prove that it is storing the renter's data, and the storage proof then appears on the blockchain within a certain time frame, and then the host is paid. If the storage proof doesn't appear on the blockchain, then the host is penalized in the Sia tokens. And these storage proofs are made possible by a technology called Merkle trees, and this Merkle trees technology enables just a small segment of data to prove that it is part of a larger file. And because they are really small, it's beneficial because it doesn't congest the blockchain itself, because these proofs are stored permanently on the blockchain. So the smaller they are, the less space on the blockchain they take. And also they have this new Skynet feature where they are trying to build a decentralized internet for a free future. It is from the same developers, it seems, and it is basically a hosting platform for decentralized storage to users, creators and app developers, but that's for another video. Also, I will put in the video description this article from one of the founders, David Vorick, from the 2017, where they explain the main focus of Sia, which is decentralization, and how it came about, so you can check this yourself if you are interested. Also, I will put the Reddit page, the official Reddit page of Sia and Skynet, so you can join the community and start to interact. And finally, we can take a look at the price chart, so we can see that the price is around $0.5 over here. And I have a few trend lines here again. Actually, it's a price channel which goes all the way to the November 2020, so just before the altcoin start to rise in price. And we can see that pretty much the whole way we've stayed inside from just a few false breakouts or over here and over here, and we've had another few tags also up here on the resistance line. So we can say that this is a pretty strong price channel so far. Also, we can see this blue line over here, which previously was a resistance from the all-time highs from the 2018. However, we've managed to pass those in the March period. We've had a brief 2 tags over here, then we break actually outside the channel and had to build more momentum, so a bit of a bear trap scenario. After we very strongly surpassed this resistance, and now we are pretty much in all-time highs territory with not much resistance above here. And also at the time of making this video, it seems that we are breaking above this price channel for the first time since the start in November-December 2020. So this could mean that the price would really start to skyrocket to all-time highs with no resistance above. However, it may be just a false breakout, and we will come back into this channel, which is still good because it's quite a steep bullish channel, so the price could still continue to climb up. And finally, checking out also the Siacoin to Bitcoin ratio. This is quite an interesting one because we can see that from the all-time highs here in 2018 it was really high, this ratio. And by the way, if you don't know what this ratio means, it's Siacoin divided by Bitcoin, which means that if Bitcoin goes up in value more percentage wise, then the Siacoin, this ratio would go down actually. So that's what we've seen in the 2018 and also 19 going all the way down here. But on the other hand, if the Siacoin goes up in value much more than the Bitcoin, then this ratio will start to rise again, which we are seeing now from the January 2021. And if we zoom a little bit closer, we can see there was this kind of a parallel channel over here where this ratio stayed in for almost 2 years. However, we've managed to break this ratio recently at the end of March, and actually in the past few days there's been a huge surge in the price compared to Bitcoin, so we've managed to break also this blue line, this blue support, which goes over here to the 2018-2019. It was a very strong support here when the price was dropping down, bounced off and came back down, but still managed to hold above for a couple of months actually, until it finally broke down. So now that we are breaking above this, it looks quite great for Siacoin because it would leave us in this area over here, which is pretty large, where there is not much resistance, only up here from the 2018 after the sell-off, after which there is pretty much no resistance. However, we are still in between those at the moment, and there is over 130% to the upside. So this could be pretty nice for Siacoin if the ratio manages to stay in between those supports in the near future. So I would definitely keep an eye on this ratio as well. And I think this is it for today's overview and a bit of an introduction to Siacoin. I think it's still quite a small market cap. If we check out the coin Gecko, we can see it is almost $3 billion US, which is less than a tenth of Dogecoin, for example, but this has a real use case. There is quite a decent circulating supply of 47.5 billion units, but there is no limited supply. However, again, we can see that the last 24-hour trading volume was quite a bit larger than the market cap itself, so there are some huge moves happening. We can see for the past year it is pretty much green everywhere, so quite large gains. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, please smash the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm to reach more people. I would really appreciate that, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!